And I'd like you to bring your fists together, just two loose fists, and bend the knees and place the fists between the feet so that the feet are comfortably to either side, and then uncurl and come back up. So that's around hip distance apart for you. Okay, that's fine, Megan, just we'll work with it. So I'd like you to focus on the back of your knees. Have your arms by your sides and focus on the back of your knees and just soften them slightly. So you don't want them locked, but you don't want them bent either. You just want them off lock. I'd like you to push down through the whole of your foot into the floor, and you'll feel the sides of the muscles in the side of your leg activate. Focusing on the perineum muscle, you're going to draw that muscle inwards and draw the core inwards to the spine. Lift the shoulders up to the ears, take them backwards and down, create space under the arms, bring the arms to either side of the legs. Lengthen the back of the neck. And then let your gaze just sink towards the floor. So you can close your eyes if you like, but you can also just keep the head upright whilst letting the gaze go to the floor. We have come into our mountain pose. So the head is still upright, just your eyes are lowered, not the head. And you just focus for a moment, feel into your body, notice how it feels. Notice where the tensions are, the aches. Notice the way you feel today. And notice the thoughts, whether everything's running around through your head like a racetrack, or whether things are slowed down, or just notice what's going on for you. And then as you stand there, I'd like you to focus on your breathing. Just observe your breathing. You're not changing it, you're not trying to move it. You're just focused on the breath flowing into the nose, down into the chest, and then coming back out of the chest, out of the end of the nose. And as you stand there, focus with each exhale, soften the shoulders and let that weight from the shoulders travel down the legs into the earth. So this is all in your mind's eye. Keep the shoulders relaxing and begin to feel the feet really becoming stable on the earth. Almost as though you could liken them to a tree growing roots into the earth and feeling the stability of the earth supporting you. Okay, and then lifting the gaze once more. We're going to draw the arms in front of the body, cross at the wrists. You lead with your elbows, taking the elbows up, opening the arms out to the side. And as they come down, soften your knees. Cross the other arm in front, breathing in, lift up the arms. Breathing out, soften down. So I'll just turn to the side so you can see. Breathing in, you straighten the legs, lift the arms. Breathing out, you're bending, bringing the arms down. So you can go in time to your own breathing rhythm. So we all breathe differently. So you may go a bit faster. If you have shoulder issues, please just take the arms lower down to where it's comfortable, maybe in front of the face. Otherwise, you're lifting up, opening sternum out to the side. Really feel the expansion through the chest. As you breathe in, they lift. As you breathe out, they come down. So just focus on the flow of the movement. Good. Right, when the arms come overhead again, I would like you to pause and form a fist with your hands. Point your pointing finger up. And we continue the movement now with our Brahma Mudra. So breathing in, holding the mudra, and breathing out, bringing the arms down. You create this beautiful wave-like motion through the spine. The core is lightly engaged. The knees bend, that looks beautiful, very nice. Crossing. When the arms come overhead again, you pause. Bring the hands above the head and release the mudra. Release it. Bring the hands together above the head and the base of the hands come to the heart, the top of the head. I'm turning to the side so you can see me. You're going to draw in the abdominals, soften the shoulders, breathe in, stretch the arms up as you bend the knees. Keep the body upright, soften your shoulders into the sockets. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, bring the hands back to the top of the head. If you have a heart condition, you can bring them to the heart, or if you have and your arms are tired, breathing in again, stretching upwards, core is engaged, knees are bent. Smile, relaxes your shoulders. Exhale, hands to the head, straighten the knees. Again, breathing in, your core's engaged, you're bending and stretching, beautiful. And exhale, hands to the head. One more time, breathing in, stretching up. If you need a break, just have the hands at the heart and pause. And exhale, hands to the heart. Relax the shoulders, give them a little shake. Breathe in and push the arms away, exhaling. Breathe in, draw the hands to the heart. So it's a flowing movement. Exhaling away, drawing hands to the heart. Exhale, bend the knees, soften. Can you see that? So breathing in, hands to heart, lift the sternum. Breathing out, push the hands away. Beautiful. Breathing in, lift the sternum and create space. First through the front of the body as you breathe in, and then through the back of the body as you breathe out. So we're working on that heart space, the front of it and the back of it, the chest. Last time, breathing in and releasing those arms down to your sides. Excellent. I'd like you to take a slightly wider stance. Oh, do you need a drink of water? Have a drink of water. Let's have a drink of water. So take a slightly wider stance with your feet, about shoulder width maybe. And I'd like you to place your right hand on your left shoulder and take your left arm and place it behind your back like that. Okay? Look down at your feet. I'd like you to rotate to your right. No, hang on. To the left. So turn your right foot to point, your left foot to point to the left and the heel of the right foot back so that your right toes are also pointing to the left of your mat, to that side. So both toes, both feet should be pointing in that direction. Take your weights onto your front leg and the back toes. Draw in the abdominals. You're going to breathe in, lengthen the spine, and as you breathe out, you're going to twist round towards your front leg. So you're actually twisting round to the back of the room. Yeah. And then pause there. Breathe in again, lengthen the spine, relax your shoulders, and go deeper into that twist. So twist further round. And then inhale, come back to the center, bringing yourself all the way around, feet forwards, arms by your side. Okay, so wrap the arms the other way round. So hand on opposite shoulder, the other arm behind. Look down at your feet, turn your right foot out to that right side. Take the left heel back so your left toes are also pointing to that, in that same direction as front foot. Come to stand on your right leg and your toes of your left. Draw in the core. Take a breath in, lengthen the spine, soften the shoulders. Exhale, round towards your right leg. Pause there. Breathe in, lengthen the spine, soften the shoulders, and exhale deeper into that twist if you can. And inhale, come all the way around back to the front. Bring your feet to face forwards. Okay, Focusing on the shoulders now, I would like you to rotate them forwards and turn the palms backwards. So turn to the side so maybe you can see that better. Rotate the shoulders back and the palms turn upwards and forwards and backwards. Good. So really bring those shoulders forwards and take them backwards. Beautiful. You can soften the knees a little when you roll the shoulders forwards and straighten up when you take them back. Excellent. Let your awareness settle into the shoulder muscles there, and maybe you can actually feel this working into those shoulder muscles. If you can't, focus more on your shoulders lifting and rotating forwards, and then lifting and rotating back. Beautiful. Good. Okay, when the shoulders come back, take the arms up and bring the hands down to the heart. Okay. I'd like us to take a wider stance with the feet, and you're going to come into a sign of sumo wrestler squat. Okay, right? You want to put your hands just above your knees. You engage the core. So your hands on your knees, that's it. I'm turning to the side so you can see what we're doing. We're going into cat-cow. So the core engages and you're rounding your spine, tucking your tail towards your nose. And then you're lengthening the tail, lifting the sternum, looking forwards and up. And you keep doing that, just rounding the back, tail to nose, exhale, inhale, lengthen the tail, lift the chest, look forwards, and continue. Nice and strong through the core. So you're rounding the spine. Sorry, I'm looking, so when I stop, it's not because everybody should stop. Lengthen the tailbone, look forwards. And the last time, rounding the spine and lengthening through that tailbone. Slide those hands down the legs into forward bend. Bend the knees, uncurl, coming all the way back up and reaching those hands down. Okay, so this time we have the knees soft again, and we're going to have the hands back in just above the knees, right? Your back is in line with your hips, and what you're going to do is you're going to drop one shoulder in the direction of the space between your feet and turn your head to look in the opposite direction. And then you bring the body back into neutral and you drop the other shoulder and turn the head to look in the other direction. Come back to neutral. So continue. You engage the core, both hands stay on your thighs. You're not moving the arms stay on the thighs. And you're dropping one shoulder, look up the other way, come back to the center, breathe in, breathe out as you drop the shoulder, look up the other side, breathe in. So just keep going if that suits you. Beautiful. Shoulder moves down towards the floor. So remember the shoulders moving down to the floor. Well, not to the floor completely, but that direction. All right. And then coming into a neutral position, release those hands down to the floor. Bend the knees, uncurl, coming all the way back up. Reaching up and taking the arms down. Beautiful. Lovely uncurl, that one. Right, we're going to go to the floor. Now, depending how long your arms are, you're going to have to judge whether you need a stack of books or a chair or something to lean on. So if you can take a wider stance and just come into a forward bend, the idea is to have your left hand on the mat and your right hand on top. So if you find that too far away, you might want to grab a block or some books or anything, a chair, that you can raise the floor a little higher towards you. But we're all okay? Good. Okay, so if you want to watch me to begin with and then join me, you're welcome. Otherwise, you won't see what I'm doing. Right hands on top. You're going to open through that right side, and take the arm up to the ceiling, gaze in that direction, and then bring that hand down, rotate the spine to face the floor, and then opening to the left side, stretching up and coming back down to the mat. So I'm coming into standing. So when you're ready, going. No, you're coming down, sorry. Inhaling and going up, doing the twist, that's it. So you're opening to the right side, stretching up, looking up, and to the other side, stretching up, looking up, coming back to center, breathing in as you open to the right, breathing out as you come back to center. And hopefully you feel this all the way into the base of the spine and all the way to the top of the head. So last time to each side. And when you're even on both sides, coming back to center, I'd like you to bend your knees and walk those feet to hip width apart and come down into a squat if that is possible. If you can't squat for knee issues, then please come into standing. Actually, let's go into a forward bend and then uncurl, coming all the way to the top, reaching up and releasing the arms. Beautiful. I'd like you to adjust your cameras because we're going down to the mat now. So if you can either, just adjust them so I can see you on the mat, that would be good. So more of your lower body than your upper body. So if I can see your mat, I should be able to see you sitting down and so on. Okay, good. All right. So if you're still standing, we're just going to the foot end of our mat. So we've got plenty space. We're going to reach up with those arms and then exhale, bend the knees, just fold forwards and down, bring the hands down to the mat and come down into a squat. Okay. I'd like you to lift the hips into a forward bend, straighten the legs. You may have to lift the body up if your hamstrings are short, that's fine. Let your head hang and then bend the knees and come down into a squat. And in that position, bring the arms up to shoulder height. Good. And then hands back down to the mat. Lift the hips high. Have the knees straight, even if you have to lift off the mat with the hands. Relax the back of the head, chin to throat. And then exhale, come back down into a squat. High squat, low squat, it doesn't really matter. All right, then put those hands down on the floor. You're going to take one leg out to the side. Have the toes pointing forwards. Good. If you need to keep the hands on the mat, that's fine. If you can bring the hands forwards. If you need one hand to balance, then use one hand to balance, no problem. All right, bring those hands down. Let's draw that leg in now and take the other leg out to the other side. Have your toes pointing forwards. Engage the core and lift. Or have your hands on the mat, either way. Looking good. And bring those hands down. Draw that leg in. There's competition on that mat over there. And toes pointing forwards, foot on the floor. Let's go back into a balance if we can. And hands down. Last time to the other side. Coming into that balance. Point the toes forward, so the same direction you're facing, so that your foot is flat on the floor. And release down. Draw that leg in. You're going to come down onto the bottom. Okay. Did I mention to bring a towel or blanket? Just Did I? Yes? No? I did. Okay. Well, if you have one, I'd like you to take it and fold it into a bit of a platform so that you can sit on it. Okay? So I want you to just pop your bottom on there. Nice and tight, so it makes a bit of a platform for you to sit on. That's a little bit high up. And what you want to do is you want to sit on it and then rock your sitting bones a bit forwards till you can feel the pelvis tip a little forwards. Okay, so that's the aim with the blanket or towel, to tip the pelvis, the hip bones a little forwards. Your feet are pointing upwards. We're going into a seated forward bend. So flex the feet, have the toes pointing upwards. Have the hands to either side of the body, fingers pointing forwards. And as you sit there, relax the shoulders, lengthen the spine, lengthen through the back of the neck. And you might find you have to engage the core a little bit as well as you hang out there. Try to shuffle forwards on your towel or blanket so that your hip bones tilt forwards. Okay. Now you can relax, take the hands back. You're going to draw a knee to the chest, and on the exhale you're going to flick it out. Flick it out, hold it there, and then lower it down. Good. Breathing in, draw the other knee to the chest, flick it out. I like to imagine I'm on the beach and I'm full of sand, and you can breathe it in and you're just flicking that sand off those legs. The sun's beating down on you. Breathing in. You can smile, I don't mind. And release down. Okay, so coming into seated again, adjusting your sitting bones so they're tilting just a little bit off that towel. Hands are in the lap now. The spine is straight. You're going to breathe in, draw the hands to the heart. Turn the palms to face forwards. You're going to hinge from the hips and tilt the body forwards towards the legs. Then you're stretching the arms forwards and then lowering yourself down towards the legs and uncurling straight back into seated. Okay. So if you're not sure, just watch me. So it goes up to the heart. You turn the palms away. You hinge from the hips, so you keep your back straight and you're still looking upwards. Then you extend the arms and then you flow down to the legs and you uncurl, coming straight back into seated. So we're going to do that a few times. If you need to bend the knees and place the feet on the floor because it's too stressful for the hamstrings, you can do that as well. Breathing into hands to heart, turning palms. You stretch, lean forwards, stretch forwards in line with the head, lower down to the floor, uncurl, coming back into seated. Breathing in, lengthen the spine as you lift the hands, turn the palms, relax the shoulders, hinge forwards, stretch the arms, lower down. Inhale, come back to seated. One more time. Breathing in, lengthen the spine, turn the palms, soften those shoulders down, hinge from those hips, extend the arms, and then just relax over the legs, wherever that is. It doesn't matter, just let your head hang, let your elbows bend, let your everything just hang out there. Enjoy the beautiful stretch through the back and the back of the legs. Uncurl, come back into seated. Excellent. Good. Coming off your towel, put it to the side and shuffle down to the lower end of your mat so that you have plenty space behind you to roll down on. We're going to do a little bit of core muscle work, so strengthening the core muscles. So take hold of the back of the thighs. So just behind the knees there. You're going to come onto into a balance here. So I'd like you to walk your toes closer to your buttocks and then raise one shin parallel to the floor. Okay, keep the core nicely tucked in against the spine. If you can, lift the other shin to the floor. Off the floor at least. Okay, good. That's not bad. That's quite easy, isn't it? Good. And then let's put those legs down. Just have a rest. And we're going to do that again. So this time raising one leg and then the other. Have your abdominals pulled in towards your spine and your back nice and straight. If you feel strong, you can let those legs go and have the hands to either side of the legs. So you're holding that position. Keep the shoulders relaxing. Beautiful. Take hold of the back of the legs if you need to rest. And then bring the feet back down. Just have a break. Going to do that one more time. So coming back, draw in the core as you go back. Lift the legs. Extend the arms if that's comfortable. And you're keeping the knees drawing towards the body because it tends to happen we end up going further away. But I'd like you to pull those knees towards the body. Taking hold of the back of the legs, put the feet on the floor. And then you're going to roll the spine down to the floor in as controlled a manner as you can. Bring the arms overhead and just stretch out. Just stretch one side of the body, stretch the other side of the body. Just do that a couple of times. And then bring the arms back down by your sides and your feet next as close to your buttocks as you can and make sure the feet are about hip width apart, so they should be in front of your hips. Okay, we're working the length of the spine. So it's called bridge pose. I'd like you to lift the head and look down at your knees. Keep that extension through the back of the neck as you lower your head back down to the floor. So the back of the neck is nice and long. You want to stay looking upwards with your face. Don't turn your head from side to side. Just take a few breaths here, settling and feeling your spine on the floor, the whole of your back and your feet and your hands and arms, head. And relax with every exhale. So to begin with, we're going to peel the vertebra off the mat. So you want to push through your feet and engage the core, squeeze into the glutes and start lifting your lower vertebra off the mat slowly but surely, rising steadily up the spine, coming into wherever you can with onto your shoulders or your upper back. Your knees track over your feet. Make sure they're not falling out to the side or falling inwards. Squeeze into your glutes here just for a moment. Pull in the core and then lower the spine back down again. So I want you to do that a few times. So you're lowering the spine all the way back down and then you're peeling the vertebra all the way back up again. Trying to feel each vertebra lifting off the mat. When you come to your highest position, pause there. Squeeze into the glutes, pull in the core. And then start rolling the spine back down to the floor again. And do that one more time. Very carefully, consciously trying to peel and prise open each of those vertebrae as you lift. At the top of the lift, you're pausing, you're drawing in the core, you're squeezing into those gluteal muscles. Holding it there, breathing freely, and then releasing and lowering the spine one vertebra at a time, all the way back down to the mat. Okay, good. Take your awareness into your spine and just see if you can notice a change in the spine, any tingling or warmth or coolness flowing around there. I'd like you to focus on keeping your right leg bent and lifting your left foot up to the ceiling. Flex the foot. Draw in the abdominals and push the lower your small of your back into the mat, and keep the small of the back in the mat. You're going to breathe out, lowering the leg in a controlled manner to hover above the floor. Straight leg is lowered, and then breathe in and lift the leg up. Don't get into a swinging motion. It's a controlled exhale, slow, gradual downwards movement. Keeping the small of the back in the mat, breathing in, lifting that leg all the way back up. And we're going to do that 3 more times. Exhaling as you go down, inhaling as you go up. Keeping those abdominals engaged and the small of the back in total contact with the ground. And when the leg comes up now, just pause there. Bend that knee, place the foot on the floor. And just breathe into the abdominals for a few breaths before we move on to the other side. So taking your awareness into the left foot on the floor, stretching the right leg up to the ceiling, flexing right foot, draw in the abdominals, push into the small of the back, and you're exhaling the leg down, hover above the floor, and inhaling back up again, nice and steady, in time to your breathing rhythm, but without a swing. Yeah, you want to be in full control of that leg using the abdominals. And we're going to do it twice more. Breathing out as the leg lowers, breathing in as you lift. Oh, just once more. I can't remember if we've done 2 or 3 now. Breathing in, lift up, pause at the top, and then bend that leg, place the foot on the floor. Take a few deep breaths into the belly area, sighing them out, softening through that lower back. And then draw those knees into the chest and rock from side to side. Just nice and gently massaging that lower back. Okay. Now when you bring your feet to the floor, take them as wide as your mat and take the arms in a sort of box position. In that kind of position to either side of the shoulders. So the elbows are in line with the shoulders and the wrists are in line with the elbows. Okay? The feet are as wide as the mat. You breathe in, lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, you let your knees fall over to one side, both of them in the same direction. The feet are wide apart, and you turn your head to look in the opposite direction. Breathe in, head and knees come back to center. And straighten the spine. On the exhale, knees flow over to the other side and the head turns in the opposite direction. Breathing in, lift knees and head back to center. And flow over to the other side again. Head in the opposite direction. Breathing in, centering knees and head. Flowing into the other side. Coming back to the center with the head and the knees. Bringing those feet back together, rolling onto your side and all the way over onto your tummy. So you want to be lying on your tummy with your feet around hip width apart. Your hands are coming, elbows out to the side, to either side of your head. So your head is going to have, you're going to have your forehead on the mat. We're going to go into Sphinx pose. So you're going to engage the core and you're going to hollow the lower back, lift the chest, look forwards and come to rest on your forearms and elbows. So make sure that your elbows are not out to the side, but you pull them underneath the shoulder joints. Okay? I'll just do that again. Go back down again. You engage the core and on the in-breath, hollow the lower back, lift the chest, look forwards and come to rest on the forearms, elbows tucked beneath the shoulders. So do look where your elbows are and where your shoulders are and make sure you adjust them so that they're underneath. Okay, so you're up in your Sphinx pose. You're going to, with your hands, imagine you're trying to pull yourself forwards on your mat so you feel all the back muscles engage through the spine. You breathe in, and as you breathe out, turn to look over one shoulder or in that direction. Breathe in, come back to the center, and breathe out, go around to the other side. Breathe in, come back to the center. Release the pull, take the elbows out to the side and roll back down. You're going to take the feet wider apart now into crocodile. Roll the heels inwards, toes outwards. Fold the arms one on top of the other, forehead on the hands. In this position, you just relax, so you don't have to see anything. Your forehead is on your arms. You're just resting. Focus your awareness on your abdominals. And when you breathe in, experience those abdominals as pressing into the mat. When you breathe out, notice them soften and relax. That's where your awareness remains for a few more breaths, feeling the belly pressing into the mat as you breathe in, and feeling the belly relax as you breathe out. So this is a position where you can relax and rest and actually quickly align any breathing or heart rate, even the physical body if it's needed. Drawing those feet now together, slide the hands to either side of the chest. You're pushing up onto all fours. And you can bring the knees a little closer and sink the hips back towards the heels into extended child. So your forehead either comes to the mat. If that doesn't work, you can place your forearms on the mat and one fist on top of the other and put the forehead on top of the fists and relax in that position. So whichever works best for you. Imagine you're breathing into the lower back area, so you might feel a gentle expansion there on the in-breath, and on the out-breath, and that lovely softening through the lower back. If you're comfortable in this position, you can take the arms all the way around the legs to the feet and rest in full child pose. Try to relax the body with each exhale, softening the areas that are tense on the out-breath. Releasing the feet now, coming back onto your hands and knees. You're going to tuck your toes under, bring the hands closer to the knees and rock onto the feet into a forward bend with the knees bent, head relaxed. And then gradually, slowly uncurl, stacking your vertebra one at a time and coming into the upright position, reaching all the way to the top, bringing the hands together and drawing them down to the heart. Releasing those hands, I'd like you to look down at those feet and put them back into your hip width apart position. Soften through the back of the knees. We're going back into mountain pose. Push down through the feet with the legs so that you feel the side of the legs activated. Draw in the perineum, the abdominals. Lift the sternum, lift the shoulders, take them back. Arms to either side of the body, the back of the neck nice and long. And again, let your gaze just lower without lowering the head. Just let your eyes look downwards. Take your awareness into the body and begin to notice what's changed from when we first began. What areas feel different? Which areas are speaking more to you now? Notice your emotions. Has something changed there? And then become aware of your mind, whether things have slowed down and become a little more calmer.